5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello and welcome everybody to the BrickFeed podcast.
Yo!
I'm John.
I'm Bar.
I'm Ben.
I'm Exxtra.
And we are your hosts of this fine episode of the BrickFeed, episode 92, recorded the week of March 8th, 2018. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yo.
Tired.
Same.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh,
Yeah,
tired.
I feel
too.
that.
But
I feel that.
mostly feeling pretty good.
Nice.
Same.
That's a fine line between like feeling tired and feeling good. You're kind of like
I'm
sometimes I
tired,
feel both.
but
But like,
I'm content.
yeah, no, totally
Yeah.
get it.
I never
What's-
feel good by default, so whenever I feel bad, it's just I feel good because that's
You
just
never
how I
feel bad. You never feel good on.
You never
So
feel
like your plateau. Your
Yeah,
normal
exactly.
day to
So
day is like
it's
this
like-
thing, right.
I feel awful, but like I don't know any better, so I might as well feel good
What?
because I never feel good.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it
'cause
makes a lot of sense. Right.
My
He's
good
like- he's
would be
general,
equated to your bad.
Right.
What? That sounds sad.
It is sad. It's a sad existence that I live. That's the point.
Very melancholy.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Every day I
I'm gonna hop out the episode today.
every day I break my arms and every day I break my legs or whatever that character says.
Every day I look in the mirror hoping to see someone else, and every day I'm disappointed.
Wow.
It's a very great start to an episode. Hope you're all
I
happy.
know. Hopefully, everyone
It's
else is
actually
happier
been
than we
quite a
are.
Lego-filled week for me. So
Yeah,
Same.
I've
there's plenty of
noticed.
Lego stuff to talk about.
Do you guys want to talk about what you guys got?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Then start us off. You go
yeah.
ahead.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
cool. All right, so I didn't mention this last time, but I did pick up that little bounty hunter set from the Star Wars Winter Wave.
Nice.
I got this
Okay.
when we were at New York, and I mostly wanted it for minifigures and also to kind of relieve some stress. Wanted to build something, want something small, but it's pretty cool. I really like all the minifigures that come with this. You got Bosk, IG-88, Dengar. What's his name? Forlom. Yeah, really like lesser known bounty hunters. They're no Boba Fett's, but they're really nice.
This is one of the. Actually, no. I would go so far as to say this is the best battle pack I feel Star Wars has come out with, because these are all characters from the movie or expanded universe, and they're all unique. You know, they're not all like they're not
Big
necessarily all
statement to
clones.
make, John.
That some would say it's the opposite then, John. That it would be the worst battle pack because it's the worst army builder there is.
No, I guess you know what?
That's
Fair
true.
enough. I don't use it for army building. For me, the battle packs are just the sets, and so like I don't
For
like to
army
get
building,
all four
yeah,
builds
I
and
could see
stuff.
why this would be
Yeah.
very unappealing. But
I can get
for
that. Yeah.
just for like collecting the characters, like actual characters,
Oh, yeah,
that's what I
that's-
found appealing about it.
It is
and
a
that's why I got it.
steal in terms of characters, just because you
I
get
know.
something that's semi-recognizable. But you do have
Yeah.
to put in mind that all these characters they have, like, except Forlum, they have continuously put these characters in expensive sets and then in like medium sets, and then now that they've put them in just about every single set, they have put them now in a battle pack. And so
Mhm.
the only like real new minifigure here out of all these is really Forlum, but for someone that has not collected those minifigures over the years, this is a pretty good steal.
I'm just thinking about like how much is this? Then was it $10 to $15?
Yeah, it was like definitely no more than $15.
Having 4 licensed characters, like 4 individual licensed characters in one set for that cheap, is actually a really, really good deal. I remember I thought I got a Ninjago set, which I thought was a pretty good deal, for like $20. It was the one with the a bunch of the different masters in Kai's dojo. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, basically, I thought that was a good seal for a Lego, original Lego line. This from a Star Wars line, that's
Good lord, dude. Wadden posted the very first Dengar minifigure, and that thing is just pathetic.
Yeah,
That's the
Alright,
classic
hold up.
minifigure face for some reason.
up.
It's funny. Look at
it's a classic
so
minifigure face
bad.
in the skin tone, the Caucasian. Is it peach? What color is
it's
that?
flesh. It's just the normal flesh tone.
Just normal.
yeah,
flesh?
it's normal flesh.
Okay.
But
Is
yeah,
it-
it had the default face. He didn't have anything custom. It was all covered up by that one white piece.
There's a 2011 upgrade, and then there is a 2016 upgrade.
That's the one that
as
I
well.
got.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, like that, you can see, especially with the hood, the top of the hood, that has changed.
He's a
From
ninja,
the-
dude.
Yeah, no, I guess so. Huh? Yeah, it is a ninja hood. It's a way better hood than whatever he was wearing beforehand. It looked like a giant. It looked like Kai Adamundi, but like the forehead had like misshaven slope to the side. Kai Adamundi after a car wreck.
He's gonna jump up, kick back, whip around, and kill some people.
But yeah, I got that. Just
Moving
gonna
on.
ignore that.
Not
When
even
your
no,
Ninjago joke doesn't land.
No. Fell pretty hard, made a loud noise, not very ninja-like.
This is what I'm talking about, man. This is why I feel bad all the time.
Oh man, I'm about to make you feel worse.
Oh no.
My Hulkbuster's better than yours.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
Has more articulation.
It's a way better value, actually. Yeah, that's for sure. I'll talk about my Hulkbuster in a second. But
Yeah, I got this the new retail
Wow, that doesn't
Hulkbuster
do anything.
for Infinity War. It does something. It you can swing his arm up and down like a Toa.
wait. Can you bend its elbows?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're like connected like in a way that they bend like gorilla arms or something, they
No. Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking at other pictures of it. Yeah. But
Yeah,
they kinda
it's
bend to the side.
they bend to the side rather than like up and down, and
Okay.
it's weird. The other Hulkbuster set had it like that too, but with that said, I am quite
Does
happy
anyone
with this
know
set.
why Lego always makes like these mech figures kind of do the little like squatting pose?
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You see how like the legs are like he's sitting down almost? Why do they
Well,
do
it's
that? They do
because-
that for like every other mech.
They can't do knees anymore. There's a conversation that Elder had a while ago for the designer on Twitter where they were basically talking about how the knee joints and everything, they put stress on the knees when they had them. So that's why almost all the mechs now have one part. They don't have posable knees.
Yeah, I figured it
And-
must have been just for stability.
Right. And so, but the squatting pose comes from the fact that, like, in order to give the illusion that the mech actually has, like, legs and everything, they design it in a certain way to make it look like it's, the squatting pose is essentially making it look like the legs are doing like a hunch almost.
Yeah, and it's
and it
like
generally
in a
looks better.
battle pose almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good comparison photo, Ben.
Yeah, I have a comparison here of the older Hulkbuster set from Age of Ultron. And man, it's funny. I really liked the Age of Ultron Hulkbuster when it first came out, but geez, it looks so dinky compared to the new
I know.
one.
I'm looking at both of them and like, wow.
It's a
There's not
very
even a
recent
comparison
set as
to
well. There's a lot of improvement there from Lego. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, like
this
we
is
have
like
this new
2015.
Hulkbuster has toes.
Right, all that
Individually
technology.
moving toes.
Yeah, and there's like way more detail. The forearms have a lot more defined than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? The head looks better. The shoulders look way better. The whole thing where you fit the minifigure inside the Hulkbusters, it's there's less space for the minifigure now, but overall it still looks better.
I mean, if it still fits in there,
Yeah, it still fits.
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, if the minifigure
Well,
fits,
it doesn't
If
have
it
any feelings,
fits,
It doesn't get
then-
claustrophobic. So
I'm looking at the head print too. There's like more detail to the Iron Man head, like just on the
There
printing
is.
on that that thing. Overall, it just looks more accurate. I like the original Hulkbuster as well. I bought that set because I like that. But looking at them comparing them to each other right now, there's no competition. Honestly, there are so many there's so many things that you notice about even just the way the legs are built. Like, it looks like a plastic toy on the first Hulkbuster, and now you're looking at the new one, and it's like, oh yeah, this actually looks a bit more.
It's a better plastic toy.
Better plastic toy. 2.0.
It looks like PC versus console or something. It looks like it's just aged.
Yeah, right.
It has more detail and everything.
It's the remastered version.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
on the Switch.
Speaking of
the
HD
4K 60 FPS version.
I also got a Hulkbuster. It was the way more pricier one. Hulkbuster Ultron Edition, the UCS one. Here is a picture of it. And it's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm actually really happy with it. However, gotta mention, there is no posability on this thing.
Really?
Are you considering modding it to get articulation?
Yes.
Should totally do it.
I am not anyone that's against, or a person that's against modding my sets. So I usually don't, just because usually they're fine. There's not really glaring flaws for me, but this one it does kind of have a glaring flaw where you cannot articulate those legs at all. So I will probably end up doing something similar to that.
It does.
Do you have any joints in mind that you're gonna use to give it articulation?
I would imagine I would either use the racket joint, the one that's using for the thighs, or I would use ball joints with that CCBS extender piece that gives it more friction.
The Brutaka pistons? Oh no, the small ones with rubber in them.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Ones that extend on
that's
the
it,
socket.
The gray ones. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be enough to keep up 1,300.
I figured it would.
All right. I want to see that. I want to see if that.
I mean, it's worth trying it out. I haven't done it yet. It looks like people are already working on it though, so I might not even need to design my own. I might just use someone else.
Yeah, I think Chubby Bots on YouTube. He just builds mechs all the time. He's really good at that. So I think he's doing a mod. So he probably figures out something completely.
I really want to make a big Hulk mock to go with it. That's what I want.
Oh yeah,
that would be really cool. That would be really cool.
That is probably my only
battling
issue
each
with the retail Hulkbuster sets. They're both bigger than the Hulk Big Fig. So
Yeah,
it
but
feels
isn't
really
Isn't
off
it bigger
the
in the
scale.
movie though?
Yeah, that's how it is in the movie. The Hulkbuster.
Oh, really?
Bigger than Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's to a pretty good scale, from the clips I saw.
Let's also be aware too that the Hulk is going to be inside the Hulkbuster in this one. Spoilers for those of you who did not see the Bruce Banner minifigure.
You just threw that out there so casually.
It's not even relevant. He's not in Hulk form while in the Hulkbuster.
No, when I said the Hulk, I was referring to Bruce Banner. I was making a joke on that, or haha.
But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, whatever. All right, so the Hulk
fine.
figure is a little smaller than he is in terms of scale in the movie. But I mean, if you look at that screenshot from Age of Ultron, it's pretty clear.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I figured that as much, but I mean, just look at the Age of Ultron set here.
Yeah.
No, I see that actually. This set compared to this screenshot from the movie, if you go back and forth, the Hulk is half the height of the Hulkbuster set. In the movie, he's a head shorter, He's
I would say he only needs to be a head taller in the set form to really be accurate, but it's.
I don't know, man. I think he's gonna need 2 heads to be more appropriate in set form.
if he went up, okay.
Maybe.
If he came up to, if the top of his head was where in this one the Scarlet Witch, where she is positioned.
No, that'd be too tall. Hulk doesn't reach Hulkbuster's shoulders.
No, Hulk reaches the part, but where the part of the chest.
He reaches his chest. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the part of his chest.
You only need one more head.
No,
Okay,
because
sure. No, I could see that actually. Just one more head, and then he's up to the
what if I
chest.
could broadcast Photoshop on here and kind of see? Hold up.
Yeah, try it out.
Continue discussion. Continue discussion.
Anyway,
Well,
Yeah,
the problem is that you're matching his scale up with the light on the Hulkbuster's chest, but the Hulkbuster's chest, like the light panel, is actually inaccurate on the set than it is in the movie. It's higher up. On the actual Hulkbuster, the light is way further down on the chest, and the back of the torso rises way higher than the head does.
Well, no, I'm not lining him up with the. You're right. The thing is lower, but if you look at your screenshot again, Hulk's head is way above the Hulkbuster's. The Hulkbuster is kind of his belly button, honestly. Like the arc reactor, that's basically his belly button, and in terms of proportions. So I'm not necessarily lining it up with that, but I am because I know that's disproportionate on the set. But I do think that like the position of the chest armor, where where Hulk's head is where the shoulder armor, not the shoulder plating, but the part around the Hulkbuster's head that turns into the chest.
I realize I don't care about this conversation. You're right. I'm not going to fight it. Let's move on.
All right, so I also got the new Sanctum Sanctorum Showdown set from Infinity War.
How do you feel about the inside?
Inside, I've heard a lot of criticism about the inside and how like it feels very hollow, kind of empty. I can see that. I personally don't really mind it too much because I like all the details that they did put. Like I like the set for what it is. And while a little bit more would definitely be nice, I still just really like the set. I could plus I don't know, personally I could see myself adding on to it myself with my own parts, or I don't know. But as a neat little like play set and something to like a set piece set, it's pretty decent.
How do you like the Spider-Man figure?
I don't really like it that much.
Really?
It's not bad, but it doesn't beat the Homecoming figure.
Is there a better picture of it anywhere? I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull one up.
But actually asked an interesting question. It doesn't. Princess asked if it's modular. It doesn't look like it is, from what I can see.
It kind of is. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily
what
compatible.
classify as modular?
Honestly, I would just say if it has like those little pins on the bottom that connects.
It has the pins on the sides.
Okay, then
so that you could connect it to like other buildings.
Yeah. It is then.
Okay.
Is it a scale though with like the other modular buildings in terms of the height?
I mean, you put it your scale, so it's fine. If it's a building that looks to scale with the minifigures, it should work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess to me it looks a little smaller than the minifigures. I guess maybe I'm just thinking like in terms of the movie and stuff.
It is. I mean, yeah, it's definitely smaller than like how it should be.
But all right, fair enough. I haven't seen it.
I'll get back to you guys on that whenever I do pick up a modular building set. Aside from this, of course.
Okay.
Well.
But hold on.
I think it's okay. I don't know. It's a little on the smaller end for my taste.
It does feel small. It doesn't feel like a $100 set.
Yeah, if I was gonna get like a modular building, I would want something that looks a little more substantial. I already own like a creator set that looks just like this, pretty much. It has the exact same thing where it's like it's got the clamshell design where you can open it up and stuff. So, for me, this is another one of those Marvel sets that you would only get for the minifigures. IMO.
And if you are not liking the Iron Spider minifigure.
Yeah, it's not a bad figure. I am glad to.
By the way, confirms Iron Spider right there. Spoilers, but he's got the legs and everything on the back of his costume.
Yeah, that was the thing that surprised me the most. Like I thought they were going to
thing.
combine them, but the legs are a huge deal.
That's a huge thing. That's definitely the Iron Spider outfit. There's a lot of contention from a lot of people that was like, "Oh, that's not the Iron Spider outfit. It's just it's this Tony Stark suit." Nope, that's definitely the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, it was even confirmed in a magazine recently that it's literally called Iron Spider. So
yeah.
The thing is, my opinions on the suit design aside, I think this minifigure could have been pulled off a lot better. Like the legs, for instance, they didn't do the dual molding thing. They did that weird thing they did for the old Comic-Con minifigs where they have a monotone mold with blue printing over it, and it looks odd.
I
get
realized. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at a photo that I looked up a photo of it, and it turns out I think this is a custom one. So I'm gonna see if I can get your photo.
Yeah. So my photo. See, if you look on the side, it's not blue. On the side.
Yeah. So that's way different from the image I was showing earlier. My bad, guys.
So on the Homecoming figure, they didn't do this. It was dual molded. So it's kind of interesting that they kind of took a step back here. Like you would think, well, it's the upgraded suit. They're gonna try and make it look better. But yeah.
No, I totally get that. For the longest time, we talked about how the Spider-Man figures, they were, for whatever reason, they were on a blue minifigure body. And so when you print the red on top of him, it ends up looking like darker, pinkish. And so basically, like the red on the blue on red is way better than red on blue. When you print those colors out, that's how it turns out. But I do find it very odd that they decided not to go with the dual mold. And they decided to go with red instead of blue too. Like in terms of, because I feel like when I think of Spider-Man's legs, I in my head I'm like they're definitely more blue than they are red. So dual molding is a great way to go. But like if you have to go with one color, why would you go with red instead of blue?
I mean,
yeah, it looks pretty ugly. Another problem I have with it is that it almost looks like the exact same figure, aside from they changed the spider and they added some gold, but if you actually look at the suit from the trailers and stuff, it looks way different. It's more metallic. The red is more of a maroon color. The webs are not really that prominent. They're there, but they shouldn't really pop out like this, like how they would on the Homecoming suit. I don't know. And
I don't know. I think the webbing's pretty accurate. But I don't know. We've had the conversation about the blue versus red minifigure a lot before, and I still don't really know how I feel about it. Honestly, I tend to prefer the red Spider-Man figures more than the blue ones. So.
Yeah,
I think it looks like Spider-Man.
I think everyone does.
It
Is there someone who doesn't? What do you mean by the red Spider-Man figures instead of the blue ones?
the ones with the red torso?
Are you not saying that you want him to be more primarily blue?
No, I was
and
talking
the
about
legs.
the legs. And so in the Iron Spider that Ven posted, the top half of the legs is not blue, and you can dual mold the legs, so half of it should be blue, half of it should be red. Like in this over.
Here, let me get a better picture of that.
Yeah. So if the old Spider-Man Homecoming minifigure, that one was dual molded. So half of it was blue, half of it was red.
Oh, I see. I got you.
That's the only thing I'm talking about. I think it's way better red. I was actually complaining for the longest time about how the Spider-Man torso used to be blue, and I hated that because it would make it look terrible.
Look at that. Look at that. It's like
He's wearing a blue diaper.
Yeah, it's got a blue diaper or a blue apron in the front or something.
Oh,
It's weird.
yeah, no, that is weird.
Okay.
It's
very weird.
no bueno.
Yeah.
That's it though. I love the Doctor Strange minifigure. It looks really good. I never got the original Doctor Strange set, so that was part of the reason why I got this one. And I figured this one was a little bit more iconic. It's got a lot more references to Marvel stuff. It's got Peter's apartment, and there's these little things in there. There's a little drawing of the Homecoming suit, stuff like that. I just really appreciate that they threw into the set. And the Sanctum Sanctorum has some pretty nice little details too. There's a portal that you can see that leads to what looks to be the outside of the set.
I found I don't know, I don't think this is not official art, but it's it's a better drawn version of what we saw in the trailer, and there's not a lot of good screenshots from the trailer that I could find. But this is an image of the new Iron Spider outfit that I feel like kind of pretty accurately captures what it looks like from that trailer. And
aside from it looking like cloth instead of metal.
Yeah. That's my thing. I don't know how they would capture it, but I just wish this did look more metallic.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
somehow.
I
I,
mean,
don't know, or at least give
listen,
it like
I
the
understand you.
darker shade.
I understand what you're coming from, but like even Iron Man's stuff doesn't really look all
Yeah.
too.
It's not metallic,
metallic.
and that's why. Yeah, I know, but
But I feel
that's why I
that
said like at
there's
least
a
the
darker tone they
red.
could have had. Yeah, the darker red.
Yeah, they could have done the dark red.
Yeah,
The comment was made about how this set is not too bad of a value, though. I don't know. I feel like
I think it's kind of bad.
I feel like it's kind of bad too. Like at $100,
Yeah.
getting 1,000 pieces. I mean, like it's not the worst. I mean, even the Hulkbuster had a really bad value. I'm happy with that set, but like it had a really bad value too.
I feel like this set should have been $20 cheaper.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what set has really good value that came out last year? Basically every Ninjago set out there. Like
Mhm.
Destiny's Bounty had 2,300 pieces, I think.
I
And that
think
was
so. Around that, I'll
$150,
double check that.
$160.
Mhm.
That's value. You're
Yeah.
getting a lot of pieces with that set. This not so much. We're
I
looking
mean,
at like 1,000 pieces for every $100. I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
that's
the
no
Destiny's
bueno.
Bounty that was released for the Lego Ninjago movie had 2,295 pieces, and it retailed for $160.
Yeah, right on the mark then.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, look, it's a very well designed set. Ninjago had possibly the Lego Ninjago movie had possibly the best wave of like overall,
that
like
is-
for every single set having tremendous amount of quality and build and everything. I felt that was one of Lego's best waves.
I mean, even another a set I actually did get recently. I got this set over in New York while we were doing Lego Live. I got the old fishing store. Which
Did you build
is-
that?
Yeah, I built that already.
Oh.
Let me post a picture.
The Lego
Actually-
Idea set?
Yep, Lego
Yeah,
Idea set.
dude,
I
that
have
set
it with
looks
my,
so
Destiny's
good.
Bounty right now. I love this set, by the way.
I love the
It's
sand green.
Incredible. Yeah, dude, sand green is like my new favorite color now, and I want just like
the
I want
Green
so
Ninja
much.
Mech Dragon had a bunch of sand green in it.
yeah.
And I was like, it's really good. All right, if you did your Hulk, would you build it out of sand green or?
Ooh,
No. Well, I don't know. I don't.
There's
think
not
sand
enough
green-
olive green. Olive.
Yeah, I don't think.
There's very little parts in that color, so
Yeah, I wouldn't have enough pieces to work with, and I also don't think sand green really quite
Captures
matches
the Hulk.
Hulk's
That's
color.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I think like
it should be olive
traditionally
green
Hulk is like
or normal green.
Yeah.
normal green is there's way more colors in it. I do think it's a little too green for Hulk. I feel like every time I've seen Hulk, he
And
actually
more
has a bit more of
parts.
a paler, paler skin tone and stuff. So that's why I was
This is
thinking
another,
sand green might be there.
This is another set that I think has a good value. You're getting 2,000 pieces for $150. So we're not looking at like 1,000 pieces per $100 like we are with some of these Marvel sets,
Mhm.
which is ridiculous. So I really like the set, by the way. It's very very well detailed, very well designed. The interior has got so much stuff in it. You're
Kinda
also
can't
getting a
wait to
decent
see
amount
that.
of minifigures. They're not like crazy like detailed or anything, but there's several there.
I just remember when I saw the Lego Ideas, I was like, oh, this looks cool, but they're gonna downsize it for the actual set. And then the actual set came out, and I was like, oh, it's almost exactly the same.
It's almost identical. It's really hard to tell the difference between the two. There's some really minor differences, and apparently the entire thing was completely redesigned from the ground up. Like I was reading in the instruction booklet, like the information behind it, and they completely redid it. But they were able to capture the essence of it very well.
Right. Like, I mean,
I
this is
think
the
that's really commendable.
original render versus the actual set that you get, and in many ways, it's like it's the same in spirit, I guess. I get what they mean by they had to rebuild it from the ground up. It seems a little bigger, but just like so accurate to what we got, and better, honestly.
And
than
better, yeah. There's
which
way
is
more.
normal. You
to
don't
it.
see that in a lot of the Lego Ideas stuff. Like normally people will overbuild their Lego Ideas thing, and like it's like, all right, guys, we can't do
Yeah, we gotta
that.
do
We got to
less.
tone it down, But this one, it was one of the few ones where you're like, no, let's scale it up a bit. Let's add a lot more detail to some of the stuff.
this is Lego Ideas done right.
Yeah,
This is
right?
Better than all your stupid Marvel and Star Wars thingies.
No,
that
I hate those. I hate
What,
those
you
so much.
you don't like Star Wars?
we are gonna
X-
get sets of those things anyway.
Oh,
Let's
you're
not
don't
use
you
our
want?
opportunity.
Don't you want?
You're
yet
talking about the Lego
another-
ideas of
Yeah,
Star Wars
right,
sets
right.
and stuff. Okay, got it.
Yeah, like we're gonna get like
Fair.
I want Lego Ideas to give us Lego sets of things we otherwise wouldn't. You know,
Right.
And this is something cool. This is like
I completely
This is
agree.
unique. This is not something we would have gotten.
this is
otherwise.
license style level of detail, but it's a kind of building that they haven't really done much in the past, and that's cool. That's something different.
Oh,
I approve.
That's so cool. I didn't know it flipped open like that. That's so awesome.
Yeah, you can take off that roof
Dude.
entirely, so you can.
Ah,
just pull it
that's
like
so
that, or you can
cool.
Just pull it off.
Dude, I can't wait to see some of this stuff. This is gonna be some cool. I like anything that has a fully enclosed build to it. I guess where it's like walls on all four sides. You know, any Lego set that does that is immediately just like, to me, it's heads
Oh
and
yeah,
tails
I
better than
hate
the
the
set.
incomplete buildings that Lego releases.
I
all the
read that
time.
open up in the back or something. The closest
like-
that.
Yeah.
The Erjitsu, the Temple of Erjitsu, which I did get, that has a nice interior and it has a nice depth, even though it does have the back is completely open. But most other sets like that, I just hate it.
Mhm.
Even like the Santa.
Well, I think
Torn.
the Temple of Erjitsu does a good job of creating that like 3 dimensions where it has like the buildings kind of forward on the plane and then the main building on the back, so it gives the illusion that there's more going on there.
I guess with that said, it's probably worth mentioning that you can actually close up the Sanctum Sanctorum set.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
It's
I
got
just
that,
did it
that,
beforehand.
that,
Yeah.
that clamshell design, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. TBH. I mean, it works, but I don't know.
it does make it a whole
Yeah,
building,
yeah, you're right.
but
It
at the
does.
same time,
It
it's
does.
still got like the dollhouse effect, so it's weird.
You know, right? It's like that.
Yeah, exactly,
There's not
the
enough
dollhouse
depth,
effect.
basically. Like if the Sanctum Sanctorum was like actually like had more depth to it on both the sides, and it felt a lot more, you know, like there are rooms inside it, as
Yeah.
opposed to like it's just like a little. What's that word? Okay, I'm forgetting the word, but it's just almost like a little like a stage almost, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah. That's the best I can come with that. Sorry, guys.
No problem. All right, X, did you get anything recently?
I did not. The only thing I've been doing for the last 50 days is sorting the Lego that I already have.
Didn't you get
Oh my
the
God,
Lego
you're
BB-8?
not hoarding?
No, that was what I got my girlfriend for Christmas.
Oh,
Aw.
okay.
But you built
So-
it still, didn't you?
Yeah, I helped
still
her
built
build
it
it
recently.
because she's not that good at building, and that's like the biggest thing that she's ever gotten. Like she usually gets like micro those sets that are like microfighters, like those just or brick heads, like small things, and I just suddenly threw like $100 set in her face, and so she needed a lot of help with all the Technic inside stuff. But
Is that how would you rate that? Like building with your significant other? Like, is that a good experience or a bad experience?
Rate it on the
I would
scale
say
of
it's
From
1 to
10.
or
1
like
to 10. What is it?
I
do
would
you
probably rate
strongly
it.
disagree, or do you slightly
Well, okay.
agree,
Listen.
or do you
Here's
strongly
what
agree?
happened. There's this.
Let him
there's another
answer the
situation.
question.
I don't know
Okay.
what's.
How does
Ben,
it
what are
make
you talking
feel?
about? What are you?
No,
what-
I'm just messing around. I'm emphasizing John's question.
Okay, well, basically, I have played first-person shooters with my girlfriend as well, so I'm used to like having her around in activity, and she's being basically useless.
Wow.
I'm basically
Wow.
but
All
the
right.
experience
Yeah, fair enough.
is a fun bonding time. And I just noticed that she's listening to this on YouTube as well, so I really need to row the boat up here. So
Whoa! Whoa! Hold up. Wait, what do you mean? How do you notice she's listening on YouTube? Is she
because
like?
she asked for a link to the YouTube.
Ah!
Drive.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
but she
Have fun with that
knew it was a
discussion.
nice like that. That's the thing though, is that I've played a bunch of video games with her and I've built a lot of Lego with her, and it's about the doing something together, because even though
Yeah.
she's dreadful at it, etc., and all that, it's that I still get to spend time with my girlfriend, so I fill that quota, and I also get to do something that I like, which is Lego
Yeah.
or video games. So even though
No, yeah, okay.
That's both worlds.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as in like enjoyment, it's pretty high up there. But in terms of like I could have built the set a lot faster if she wasn't there. And it
well, I
would
mean,
have
like
been
Call of Duty, I get because like you're basically only playing. I guess you can do split screen, but like more than likely, if you're playing Call of Duty and she's there, she's not helping you play Call of Duty. You know, she's not like watching your six or something. She's just watching you play. So it's just like the.
she's along for the ride.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned I essentially had I made this friend at school, and I was talking about, we talked our jobs, so I was like, oh, I do this thing of Lego, so they send me stuff, and she heard that like they sent me like, they're like, oh, you send you all these giant Lego things. She's like, all right, well, I'll come over one time and we'll build a set together. And I was like, oh, that would be cool. But then I was like, is it gonna be cool, or am I gonna be like just frustrated at her this entire time?
She's
I don't
using
know,
you
that's
for your
fine.
Legos.
I think so. She's like a Lego digger. She's a plastic digger. That's all that's about. Okay.
All right. Well,
Sorry, I just wanted to know that.
I did get another set. I didn't build it though, so it doesn't really matter. But I got a creator set. This Turbo Track Racer. I got it just for parts though. But that's another thing I got. Oh, that didn't embed. Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Is it the one with like lime green on it?
No, it's blue.
Oh, it's the blue and white one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay.
I thought I copied the link, and instead I copied Construction Hulk.
See, that's a very
So-
rare sight right there. That is a modern-looking car that is not showered in stickers. That's a rarer sight than you
Yeah,
think
I actually
these
really
days.
like this car. If I had the money, I'd probably buy it again just to build it, because I only got it because like 90% of those parts are useful for me for a mocking project. So like,
I can't imagine
now
why.
Now that I think about it, yeah,
Blue,
that makes sense.
What's
It's
going
really
on with
it's
that,
all the white in the tires. X, I think that's what.
Yeah,
it is.
there's no use for that blue there. What does he need blue for? What kind of
No.
blue?
Blue is
kind
stupid.
Blue is the warmest color.
Yeah, and red's the coldest
Coolest color.
freezer. So, what's next on the docket?
So we've got some news things we want to go through. We might like touch upon this. Have we been officially able to talk about the Star Wars stuff?
Only the white bootleg looking Chinese thingy Bob Millennium Falcon, but all the other sets we've not talked about at all.
Okay, let's just go through the new wave of Star Wars real quick then, if we can, just because I feel like we do need to talk about this, and also how Solo's gonna bomb. I mean, what?
Whoa.
I feel like you are always pushing an agenda whenever you mention something. There's
Wait,
always
listen,
something.
I'm like
to
a
it you have to
politician.
say.
There's always a little.
You're just
there's always a
always
little something.
hating on Solo or the Last Jedi or Ryan Johnson or just any. You just gotta push it. You just gotta push it.
I think Solo's gonna bomb, but maybe it's just me. Wrinkle in Time though, boy, that's really. Anyhow, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about this a bit earlier with battle packs, and right away we are met with a battle pack that's kind of contradicting in its nature because you get 2 clone troopers that is perfect for that's the very first set that's on the article, and it's perfect for like army building with the 2 clone troopers, but then you have 2 Jedis.
Yeah, so
X,
it's
don't
a
you
very
want to do
interesting-
army building with your Jedi?
No, but that's what I'm saying is that like it would be like it seemed like a set where you could like it seems like a set that they put out and it's just like, hey, you can army build because you have clone troopers in it. But then they're also simultaneously contradicting that by having 2 Jedis in it. Like it would be better if it was 4 clone troopers or 4 Jedis, but they mixed it and it's just a really I don't know.
No, I totally get what you're saying. It's $14.99, but if you're like an army building guy, again, that's not me, right? I don't have an army of clone troopers or like this is the first generation clone trooper too. So it depends on what kind of clone army you're wanting to build. If I wanted to buy one, I would obviously want one with the most amount of clone troopers in it. Now, if I don't want to army build, that's cool, but then I would want to have individual characters, like the bounty hunter one. So if this one, they had Kinda Monday, they had Barris Ophi, they had like, I don't know, they had Mace Windu, and then they had, give me Cleland Vos, right? And they had all those guys together, and like it was a thing. I would easily buy that set. But this one's like interesting for me, because I'm like, I want those 2 Jedi, but not enough to buy the other stuff I don't really want.
Also, this is the first time we get to see the finally made dress piece. Yay! And it looks kind of weird.
Is it a new dress piece?
It's a new dress piece. It's not the it's not the
there's a
slope
slope
that you have
to
in
it.
buildings. It's an actual piece made with that has like the same kind of connection that normal pants do, and it's there. You know, we finally got it. It only took us like what 60 years.
I can't believe this set's $15.
That's how much battle packs are these days. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember when they were 10. Remember they were 10?
No,
Really?
I never used that currency ever, but I know what you mean.
Fair enough. That's fair. I will give you
basically,
that.
remember when they were cheaper? X?
Remember they were cheaper.
Yeah, I do.
by,
Oh, it
like,
was
2/3?
great, you know. And they also didn't have those stupid stud shooters as well. You know.
Good times.
Oh, I remember that. Do you remember when there was one point in time where they had actual guns, like actual like molded,
Actual laser science fiction.
actual
guns.
like
Made out of
legitimate,
plastic
like you
in
could
miniature
shoot them and
scale, so-
everything, right? But no, they were
Yeah.
like they did the backwards megaphone for ages, and then they had like little plastic guns that looked really good. And they
Yeah, when
you know,
Don
like,
posted
accurate.
some nostalgia
Oh
material.
my
there,
gosh,
the very,
I forgot these existed.
the very first
the
battle
very
pack,
first one. Oh man,
and
I
you
have
get,
not seen
you
this in
had
ages.
a commander,
Yes.
you had a shock trooper, and then you have 2 regular troopers. So it was a really
I
great battle.
have that
these
set.
are
I know. I have this
Oh,
one.
man.
I
I
also
have this
remember
one
they had
too.
they
So
cut out
cool.
they cut out the
I have the droid one
the
too.
faces,
Oh my gosh.
so that you have the black minifigure head underneath, and like the helmets all had these like see-through things, so you couldn't use them on like normal minifigures. You didn't have a normal minifigure face underneath it. You had to have the black minifigure head underneath that.
Yeah,
to
these
make it
are
look-
great.
Wow.
Ah, the pre-molded guns. Oh, so good.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
look
so
at these
this
guns.
Han, yeah, so the Han Solo set, yeah, you know.
Oh, sorry. We'll get back to it in a second. I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm freaking out over this. The one thing I wish they brought back was the idea of all the troopers and several of them having different colors, and like I know they probably had some since then, but I remember really loving that. I also did get this the droid one, the one with the super battle
It's more of a
droids.
clone thing back in the day.
There's a lot of droids in it.
Mhm.
It does.
The Mandalorians was also a good one. That's not the one I have up on the screen right now. These guys are cool. I think they were like, it was a shame because they trying to change them in the new canon and stuff. But
On this episode
Yeah.
of TTV, John goes through his entire catalog of classic toys.
this is every Lego set I've owned and what I remember from them. It might be a good episode actually. Not just me.
No, it's
It'd
not.
be other people. You know, like. But just me, it'd be boring. The Imperial Patrol Battle Pack is a new set that's coming out this wave. It has
This is cool
this one is really cool actually.
because you get new troopers. This is perfect for army building, and you also get like a brand
Yeah,
new
I do
trooper,
really like
which is
them.
I think it's kind of stupid though that they were always introducing new troopers in the old trilogy. But you know that's a completely different thing. But I do like here that we're getting a actual substantial, cool looking, interesting build in a battle pack because usually they're just kind of you know, you just buy them for
Right.
the minifigures. But this thing is kind of neat, you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
It's a
totally.
bit of a unique build, you know.
That and I mean the Imperial
It's
Navy
extra
troopers
fun.
are
It's really
awesome.
cool.
It's so good. It's so detailed, and even the helmet is very, very detailed for each of these troopers.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
also.
very.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
They have like some pretty cool shapes to it, and it's also printed as well. So this is pre-rendered images, and I'm just wondering, like these are something that's very prone to like misprints and whatnot. So hopefully, that's not an issue that you'll run into if you buy this set.
This one is a set that I probably would buy, both because of the designs. I'm actually thinking about picking this up. The only thing that I dislike, and this happens on a lot of Star Wars ones because of the helmets. The Imperial, I think I'm going to say the Imperial Navy Trooper. The other two are the Patrol Trooper. I don't know which one's I think the guy in the gray is the officer, and the girl is in black. But the thing I dislike about Star Wars is that a lot of these troopers will have this stupid band that goes across their face. It's supposed to like be the helmet thing that keeps their helmet, a chin strap basically.
Yeah, and it's perfect if they had like a double-sided face.
Right.
But they don't.
But they don't. And so you're stuck with this. Like this would be a really great just for like a sig fig kind of thing where you like, you know, a normal female face doesn't have like anything to it, but it has the stupid chin strap, and now you can't use it. The Imperial Officer, though, that's a great one. There's nothing tying it to Star Wars in particular. It just has, and it has like the mutton chops and everything. I really like that.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, and even though like the suit itself is very, There's something about it that's like a bit more cleaner, more minimalist. So, all right.
The next one,
Yeah, let's talk about this next one real quick. Yoda's hut for $29.99. That's $30. This is a classic one. This is a classic scene from Star Wars. Very, very excited to see it again. R2D2 mud version.
Never had that variant of R2D2, which is pretty neat.
That's cool.
Neat.
And it's also a cool way to get the new Yoda as well. There's some neat action.
Great.
But
whatever says the new Yoda.
The last one I remember was the one where it's like the battle on Geonosis, but I'm pretty sure they've had it since then. But I can't think of anything cheaper than this. Also, there was the little starfighter they had from Episode 3 that they made. I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, I don't think those sets were as good looking or as cool as like Yoda's hut. With that said, though, I still feel the old hut was better because this one is kind of upright and just like it. The set looks good and they have some cool shaping in it using those like recolored windscreens there that you usually see on like racing cars, but here you see them in tan. The old one had because it kind of has like this upright, very blocky look to this hut, and if you see the old one that Var posted, they're sort of getting the more hut in a little swamp kind of look going on. I feel like they're capturing that better. So I feel like they kind of missed the mark here on that. I feel like they could have. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's also doing the same thing that I hate, where it's suffering from that like cut in half dollhouse building thing that Lego's doing a lot recently. That I really don't like. The old one I think looks much more presentable from the back. Like obviously it's cut open as well, but like I feel like just that
I
extra,
agree.
like,
that does look better.
Yeah, that extra little like dimension there just looks so much better because you have the back of the wall kind of going out forward more. So it doesn't they just like took a knife and cut it in half.
And you know what it looks to me? The old one has it way better than this new one. Is the sloping on the roof, and this one it literally looks like you have the side and you have the roof, like they're two separate components, and one's like slapped onto the other.
Yeah,
it's
transition.
more flatter. Transition, right? This one looks more like a hut. You know, if you build a hut, you taper it to a point.
Dome-like.
You put you put like leaves and stuff on top of it, and it slopes down naturally. And the old set definitely had that way better. Than this new one. So, but
I'm excited for the new one because I never got the old one, and I really like the minifigures in this one.
Yeah, the minifigures look cool.
Do you guys remember? I had the Clone Wars Yoda minifigure. Do you remember the Clone Wars Yoda?
Dude, the Clone Wars minifigures were disgusting.
He looks like he was squeezed or something, and his like eyes are popping out. It's weird. I do not like that minifigure at all.
This poor figure. Look at this guy. This guy is like wanting to die. He is like he's just staring right into your soul.
End my suffering.
I hated that decision to try and make them cartoon accurate. Like
it really ruined. Guys, okay. Look at this. Look at this figure for a second. This Obi-Wan. Look at this. Look at this Obi-Wan.
I'm glad they didn't do that with the Star Wars Rebels set.
Yeah, right? Star Wars Rebels actually looks like pretty good.
With that said, Star Wars Rebels set is done now, so we're not going to get more sets. So it's
red.
Man.
Disgusting.
I was going to say it's a good thing you didn't do this for
Star Wars Nostalgia Trip, the episode. We're just going through old
I guess
Star
so. I guess so. Star Wars has been around for a long while. All right, let's move on to.
This next one doesn't have any nostalgia attached to it.
Yeah, because they're doing a. It actually looks really cool, but I'm not quite sure where they're going for it with it. Han Solo's land speeder. It has Han Solo, Kira.
It has good price per piece ratio, $30, $300.
Yeah, interestingly, it has almost a whole 100 more parts than the.
I would buy this one.
Set.
No, I love the design of this. This looks unique. There is a thing about Star Wars where a lot of the new vehicles just look like the older ones with a slight twist. I don't really feel like I've seen any new iconic Star Wars vehicles as much recently. You know?
Yeah, this does look pretty refreshing.
Yeah, ironically, we're getting like a bunch of new cool vehicles and troopers and all this new cool stuff. in the films that center around the old trilogy. You know, how about that?
Interesting. Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah.
The new ones. There's
I
like,
like
oh,
the Creed
did you like
ship.
the? Did you like the Star Destroyer? Well, here's a bigger one. Did you like the Death Star? Well, here's a bigger
Here's the
Death Star.
bigger-
There's a literally scene where it's like, this is the old Death Star, and this is the new Death Star, Star Killer Base. Just bigger.
Did you like the old Jedi? Well, they must come to an end.
Yeah, this is a neat set. I like that. There, as you can see, indicating by those little PP
It's back
thingies
on
there,
track.
there is a spring-loaded shooter hidden somewhere in that speeder. Not sure where you press something to make it fire,
yeah,
but
that's interesting.
I like that they have hid that thing in there. Yeah, it's a neat set.
It's
Yeah,
really
pretty
cool.
neato
It looks like a
indeedo.
cool hover car, but like a very different design than what I normally see from hover cars.
I really like the minifigure designs too, by the way.
Yeah,
the
they
Solo
look
Kira
great.
Minifigure look great.
Yeah,
I
very
The-
new
the
colors.
new hair.
You know,
For Kira is really great. Is that is new, right? I'm not like mistakenly
that's
I'm-
the new hair. That's the new
that.
hair.
Yeah, okay. Whenever I say this is a
hair.
new piece, I always have to be like, am I mistaken? Did I?
Yeah, I always
Okay.
second guess myself too.
Yeah,
You have,
But
you have
also-
to do that.
They come with pre-molded guns, guys.
they do.
Well, Olden do. It's only battle packs where you get those stud shooters. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
the whole-
Okay. Speaking of like this is kind of going back to what we were saying about like how stuff is old again. This is a Imperial TIE fighter. This is the TIE fighter.
Hooray.
And if you've seen a
Another
TIE fighter, this is it.
Hey man,
This
I'm
is-
excited because I never got a TIE fighter before.
This is disappointing because the thing is, you see those like round edges. You know, for a very long time, all the TIE fighters that came out, they didn't have the like profile frame going around the wings there. You know,
Okay.
and that's sort of been the big leap in improvements when it comes to TIE fighters. With X-wings, you've seen like new cockpits, you've seen a lot of new things popping up, but TIE fighter is still suffering from two very apparent issues, and that is one, that there's no detail on the inside of the wings, which like makes it look kind of off and very Lego-y, and also yeah, Lego looks like Lego, haha XD. Also the cockpit is not round looking. They have not gotten this right at all ever, and it's very disappointing. I'm gonna hit you with a random example of a mock TIE fighter, and they have the pieces ready,
Right.
and they don't, and it's not complex build either. The minifigures fit in there, so why isn't Lego using all these neat, cool, curved slopes that they've introduced over the years and actually make the TIE fighter cockpit look rounded smooth as they do in the movies? I don't
It's
understand
interesting.
that.
Re-release
Because
every year.
That is really, huh?
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Especially, yeah, you are right, Var. There's like a new TIE fighter. Like every year, I see one of the like sets again where it's like, oh, it's this set, but a little better.
They
But this
did
is
do an
not too bad.
okay job in The Force Awakens to make it look round with that one, but I don't know.
Let me
It's
see.
very no. There's no. I feel like there's just ships. You know, it's just like
There's
it's
a
like
curve there.
it's like a ball. you know?
It
Yeah,
looks
no,
more.
no,
it does look more rounded than this
Yeah, it
new
looks
TIE
more
fighter, but I
Like,
see
I
what you
get what
mean.
you're saying,
Like
it's not
they're
nearly
using-
as-
It's too like angular.
Yeah, I mean, it's not using
Yeah,
the round
angular.
slopes and everything, but like
Var,
I
the
don't know.
one you posted, is that the one we're talking about now, or is it like from a different? thing?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was talking about. I said that, like they did a good job making that one.
Yeah, the
rounded.
new one, which is there's another big question that comes up with this new TIE fighter here, is within the minifigures, and that is that you see there's this camouflaged stormtrooper, and I don't really know if this is. I think it is. It seems like it says Mimban stormtrooper, so I don't know if this is like
They went to
basically
Mimba.
what I'm wondering is that this stormtrooper has an obvious, completely new head mold for the stormtrooper, and I'm wondering if this is like all stormtroopers coming out now are going to have this new head mold, or if this is like a specific mold only for this specific variant of the stormtrooper. If that makes sense. 'Cause
Right.
if so, if the people who are already trying to army build stormtrooper armies, they should basically just stop completely and wait to see if this new mold is gonna hit the shelves, basically.
Right,
But that's really
because-
the only like cool
It's-
and interesting minifigure
Do we
I've
see
seen.
that? I guess they are completely different troopers for the Imperial Patrol troopers. it would be a completely different mold, right? So yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we won't know until later, but that is really interesting. I do like the detailing on that as well, and also let's look at the Tobias Beckett. I'm assuming that's the dude on the left. Obviously I don't know, but like the detailing on him is incredible. Like he has like a raincoat jacket thing, and
Yeah.
just like the printing on him is like it's extraordinarily
Detailed?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I just-
detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get around that, but like yeah.
This new movie is really, really dirty because all of these minifigures has like a lot of dirt and wear on all of
It's
their
really, really dirty.
dirty. There's just a lot of dirt and like wear on all of these guys' clothes, which adds a lot of detail. But like, I'm wondering what the
It
context.
probably bumps up the price a lot because if you look at this has a really bad price to part ratio. There's
by the way, yeah.
519 pieces for
Oh, yeah.
$70.
TIE fighters have
boy.
never been good on price because the thing is that this is so recognizable. Like no matter what we say,
Yeah, it's
people are gonna
iconic.
buy this either way just because it is a TIE fighter.
I know I'm gonna buy it because it's a
Yeah,
TIE fighter.
right. I would too if I didn't already have like 3.
All right, we already kind of talked about this beforehand. Do you want to gloss over it real quick? The Kessel Run
Let's
Falcon.
gloss over it.
Y'all can
Okay.
do it if you want.
Yeah. There's some. There's a lot of cool new stuff here. Mostly
It's white.
just minifigures. For me,
Yay!
I
another
love
Millennium Falcon. Woohoo.
love the young Lando figure, and I believe that's
Lando
a new
looks
headpiece
so
as well.
good.
Young Lando looks incredible. I want to get that. If anything, I just want to get that minifigure. Kira has
They're
a new
adding a lot
hairpiece.
of new black hair pieces. It's actually pretty
I
interesting.
know.
Lando's got a new hairpiece. Shuri's got a new hairpiece. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Always
We're
use new hair,
yeah.
you know.
Now, if only Chewbacca didn't get a new hairpiece.
oh boy.
'Cause, Oh
That
my
Chewbacca has been
gosh,
a
he
little-
looks
really
disgusting.
interesting. There is an interesting girl in the dress and a hood. I don't know who it is. I think it's
Maz
Quay
Kanata.
Tolosly. It's Maz Kanata. Oh boy. But yeah. She's a very interesting design. That hood is a very like specialized piece. I'm wondering how it's going to translate from the movie into this. But overall, this is the original Falcon. That front piece, I did see a image. I don't know if I can find it again, where that front piece does detach to form like the two fins of the Falcon that we know and love. Right now, it's one giant like
Make it
blocky.
look more. Right.
Yeah. But like that part will detach eventually. So
Interesting.
You know.
I wonder what that would look like.
it is 1,414 pieces for $170. Not the best ratio, but not the worst either. You are getting a good amount of minifigures here. There's like 6 of them. Then the droid. I guess I don't know if do you guys count like obviously they're minifigures, but whenever something has like a block, like a dress, I kind of like discount it a little bit because it's like that's articulation you're not getting.
I don't discount minifigures usually, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't either.
Next on the list, let's just go through these. I think we'll be able to get through them really quickly because there's only a couple things to say about them.
Are we not doing
Infinity
extra
War
one?
brickheads. Yes, we'll be doing that after
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're just gonna
57
go
minutes.
over some of the new things. Yeah, we're just going for the news socket. Bunch of Infinity War ones. We had talked about a couple of them previously. Iron Man, Thanos,
Looks pretty cool.
Star-Lord,
Looks
and
adorable.
Gamora. They are all pretty cool. All available for the same price that they're normally at. So $10 for all these guys. But yeah, there you go. Anyone stand out to you? I think Thanos has a lot of purple pieces, which I don't feel like a common.
I like the little
I
infinity.
like
gauntlet.
him. Yeah, I'll probably.
Yeah,
I might get the
Grant is a bit
Thanos one.
simple.
Yeah,
I feel like we could have put a tiny bit more detail into that. Star-Lord's
Yeah.
it's cute. You know?
Star-Lord has a nice detailing of his face, and I feel like that's cool. And
I like
Gamora
Gamora a
has
lot.
Gamora has
Gamora's
the best hair out of all of them.
The hair looks really cool. I want Gamora. Otherwise, they're cool. They're neat.
They're
brickheads.
brickheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brickheads.
They're
They're
brickheads.
brickheads.
Haven't we had an Iron Man before? I don't feel like this.
We
We
have.
did.
We
This
did
This
doesn't
one.
one's
feel
not all
different.
that different.
This one's very similar. Like,
Yeah,
very
why didn't
similar.
we get like a Black Panther?
The color that they use for the gold parts is different, I guess. Like I don't know what.
Yeah, it's a
shade
bit
this
more
is.
like,
Is this tan.
Yeah, it's a tan thing.
Looks tan.
It's based off the Mark kind of like the Mark 42 armor. That
Right.
combination of the red and kind
It
of
was like a
gold.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's neat. I guess.
Yeah.
It's
Lord looks really derpy.
yeah. I don't know how to feel about Star-Lord.
It's
actually.
because of the what his like helmet. The middle part is what looks kind of derpy about it. It looks like he's like an ant almost. He's got a little mandibles.
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not
They
Ant
could
Man,
have
but
done that better.
definitely. All right, let's get started with extra mock here and start wrapping up. X, hit us with your
X,
best shot.
What do we have today? Is it a mech?
It is not a mech.
Is it a Extra mock?
Wow.
Okay, so this is very special. So there's this guy on Flickr called Aaron Newman, and he makes Lego creations, and then he takes photos of them and he makes them as like series and make them look as if they are actual Lego sets. It's really weird. This was sent by someone on Instagram as like a suggestion to be an extra mock. This was done 2 months ago, and I finally have the opportunity to show this one. And basically, he's made lots of series. He's made like science fiction, Wild West, all kinds of stuff. But the one that I want to feature today is his made up Dragonlance line, in which he's not made one, not two, but 4 imaginary waves of these made up sets, and it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. So we're looking at this.
Good.
This is
Grief.
the first series that he made of these sets, and all of these he's like individually posted, and he's like shown them off as if they were like at first glance. If you go through his
Nuju
stream,
Metru.
yeah, it looks like he made these as it's crazy basically.
Yeah,
Ben,
we
did
met this
you
guy at
buy-
Brick Fair. Right?
No, I mean like he's a Nuju Metru. He's a long-standing person from the BIONICLE community. We met him at Brick Fair. I think one of us bought
Someone
one of the
got his
Dragonlance.
set, yeah.
Yeah, one of us bought that. Was it you, Ben? I thought it was you.
No, I wanted it, but it was too expensive for me at the
It
time.
might have been Meso. Might have been LJ. Maybe. So I know
It might have
someone.
been-
One of
might
us.
have been Mesa.
One of us did buy this this
Didn't Purple
like
buy
the
something?
thing. Purple bought
Nah,
some. Well, he was there the
they're
first
like-
year we were there. He was there the first year we were there. He was not there the second. I mean, he might have been there, but he wasn't selling one of these sets. But he basically made a dragon and then he like packaged it into like a Ziploc bag and like gave you
Yeah, and he
instructions and
sold it.
everything. Yeah, and it was an awesome
Totally.
idea.
Yeah,
Man,
it was pretty cool. I didn't.
Okay, sorry.
Wow, this is great. It's cool that he's been making so many more of these, and wow, the detailing on
only
these dragons
one-
especially is really cool.
Yeah, he has like a base build or something going on. Like his dragons are made very similar to each other, but like at the same time very different. He has
Yeah, they have like variation. That's really nice.
yeah. If you look on this second wave that he made, of,
okay, let's see the
of
second
these,
wave.
you can see that he's improved a lot with some of the dragons. You know, trying to and
Oh yeah, I'm looking at all the waves right now. I'm on wave 4, and this is oh my gosh.
All right, don't get ahead of us now. Let's take this.
Dragons, man.
They are really
Before
cool.
Purple, I was the dragon person, so let me have this.
You're reclaiming some of your stuff. On the
I'm
second wave
reclaiming.
X, this 64026, he doesn't have any of the names of the sets here, but the one with the white dragon, and the like the mystical portal and like the evil thing, that looks incredible.
yeah, it really.
I mean,
I
all
really
of them
love
do,
the
but, like-
evil wizards theme. Like he has lots of like cool medieval themes. Like there's so it really makes me angry looking at these because there's so much cool stuff Lego could do with like a castle medieval fantasy type theme, and they just haven't made anything
They haven't been
similar to that
doing
in
it,
years.
man. Yeah, I completely understand. I'm also pretty disappointed. You know, it's interesting. I was going through all of the themes that we do have right now, and there's not a lot of original Lego themes out right now. Like the main things are City, Ninjago, Next Nights, which is already about to be canceled, so I guess that doesn't really count anymore. And Creator.
Yeah, we have like the normal like City, Creator, Technic, the ones that we've always had, but like
Technic, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have like current...
Everything else is licensed.
Yeah,
it's
like it's not like back in the day where you had Mars Mission and then you had like I don't know, Dino Attack. You had a bunch of weird stuff always going on.
There's a wider variety of things. Castle was a thing too.
Yeah. I mean, like
Pirates.
part of it is now that Lego
Knights
themes,
Kingdom.
original Lego themes, they have a story attached to them. That's what they're trying to sell you on this story alongside. That was a part of the Ninjago success, and that you've seen them try to do it with Chima and Nexo Knights. You know, and Nexo Knights was probably the closest thing that we got to a. Obviously, it was a high-tech castle theme, but it was trying to emulate this feeling. There is something classic about these MOCs, though, that I felt Nexo Knights didn't necessarily capture. It was a really cool theme. And a lot of the sets were like better, you know, once you bought them. But like these feel classic. You look at them and you're like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, they have a very like Lego feel to them, just because it's all just very purely
Third
brick-built
wave.
creatures.
The Fairy Wars. I think he started like naming them as he went along. So like the two of them were just Dragonlands, and this one's the Fairy Wars. And they had like a theme too. They had like the conflict in the box with them too. The second wave was like what, the evil wizards, and the third wave is what looks to be like orcs.
Yeah, I feel like that,
News! Super
What?
Smash Brothers coming to the Switch. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
yeah.
Thanks for that, dude.
Thanks.
Sorry. I
Thanks.
got like the notification on my phone. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah,
go
in the third
on.
wave, you can see a bunch of orcs and like ogres or something. Like you have these like giants stuff going on. I like that.
Nice.
There's our golem that is featured in 64030. That is legit. I love that. He uses mixel joints and like a lot of other things to build like a really well done, convincing monster that doesn't look like the other monsters that we get normally. So I'm really enjoying the look of that.
Yeah. On the third wave, you also if you look at 64041, I really like the look of that dragon overall, and I also like that
041. Hold up. Maybe am I looking at the wrong one?
No, I'm looking at I'm looking at wave 4 right now. Actually,
Wave
I messed
four,
up.
okay.
Yeah, wave 4, and it just is using the bone pieces from BIONICLE, which I think just fits really well in there, and I just really wish that Lego did a lot more, just creatures and something alive in general, because there's just cool stuff that they can make with the CCBS parts that they already have, because they're not making, you know, a pure CCBS theme anymore. They might as well like integrate
Utilize
it
those
a lot
parts,
more,
yeah.
utilize it a lot more into system. You know, it's already
This
there.
is it's from all the Skull Wave that we had from BIONICLE G2. First year. So all really good. Like they really do sell that form very well, and the creatures are a cool way. We've been seeing it with BIONICLE G3, and the cool mocks have come from that. But the creatures are a good way to show that, to use construction very creatively. Oh man, what is this called? Mythic machines. So against the dwarves now. Okay, or maybe not. Maybe it's not dwarves. I was associated dwarves with machines, but even still, like all these sets are incredible, and they almost all of them come with a dragon.
Yeah, this guy's just built so much, like, all these waves. Like, just picture, like, how does he even store this in his room? Because, like, a lot of these are, like, huge buildings and creatures.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's so much here, and it's very hard to pin down something to talk in depth about, because there's just so much. I mean, alone on wave 4, at the bottom right corner, there's, like, this huge town castle, you know, alone, that's very similar looking to like the big sets we got in Lord of the Rings, you know.
It reminds me of Sheriff a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and also at the top right, you know, there's a dragon with the color in purple, you know. That's neat.
That's
I like
kind of
that.
cool. If only someone was on here for BrickFeed, I could jump in and say something.
Yeah,
like that.
you know, that'd be That'd be neat. You
That
know.
would be neat.
How do you,
I did.
how do you feel about dragons, Fart? You liking these
These
dragons?
dragons are really cool. I'm finding it difficult to keep up with each set you guys are talking about.
Yeah, we're just kind of jumping everywhere here because like I messed up
Yeah.
the order. Of my tab.
I'm
So-
completely lost. as to, like,
So I
which
thought
set
I
we're
was looking
talking
at
about.
wave this, and I was actually looking at
So
wave
we're
that.
right
and
now. The
it's
purple dragon is 64040.
Yeah, I see
on
that.
wave 4.
Yeah.
I see
But,
that. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how to find each individual set though, other than scrolling through his Flickr. Is there like a link to each one?
No, they
Yeah, I
just link
posted
to
links
each of the
several
waves.
times.
Yeah, so they're just
I
giant
can't see anything
images
from
of
the
all the
wave
waves.
pictures though.
Do you zoom in? Click on the thing to zoom in, and like Flickr will actually like let you move your mouse around. It's kind of cool. The two sets that I really like, I mean, obviously, the bigger sets are more impressive, but I actually really like how 64043, this kind of like a Elven Mine almost, that has a feeling of an action set, like, something you get for the play set and the play value, as opposed to 044, which is a lot more of a classical,
Castle and bad
castle
guys
and the
/
bad
good
guy
guys.
theme, right? So one's a display
Yeah.
set, one's definitely an action set. And I mean, look at this. 042 has an amazing siege machine.
Yeah, I don't really know what to call
I don't
that.
even know
but,
what
like,
to call
it's
that.
very It's very orc-like,
Mhm.
with the spring-loaded shooters in the back. you
And
know,
there's an ent, or what? I mean, it reminds me of an ent. It might be another golem, but like there's like a
Yeah,
giant
it's like a
ice-
skinny golem.
creature. Yeah. Well, in Lord of the Rings, they had these like tree things that kind of looked a bit like this guy. Maybe I'm projecting onto that. I don't actually know what kind of like creature he's supposed to represent. But these are all great sets, and additionally, each of these dragons look really cool and also pretty unique. Beyond just like the colors, there's different design elements to each one. Like you can see the orange one on 039 and compare that to this yellow one for 41, and they're very completely different dragons. They're built like they have the same base model, but they look like completely different characters. Because the purple dragon one's a little similar, but
There we go. Thank you, Axe.
Yeah, I should have just linked the album. I've linked all these photos like in my favorites. So, like if you're going through the photos, you're like going through my favorites on Flickr. I messed up. Basically, I messed up this entire thing.
No, it's
Thoroughly.
okay.
This is
You're
not
all right,
your guys'
'cause this
fault.
is
This is
really
all mine.
cool. This is really
But yeah,
cool.
just scrolling through this this album, you get like a closer look of all the sets. You can just see like the amount of dedication he has to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh no, this is only one of the waves as well. Like you need to find the man.
Yeah, I was looking at some of his other stuff. He even had like a tutorial on how he like made the wings for
Yeah.
sets and everything, which is really cool.
All right,
Yeah, a
this is
lot of his creations has like a simple complexity to it, if that makes any sense. And that
Yeah.
like even if you look at his header, you can see that he kind of shows you like smart ways to build these creatures, and so you can kind of learn and see how he's done things by just looking.
Can you link the tutorial?
Oh, it's
Wings
in
tutorial?
his banner on his main Flickr. Like if
Oh,
you just
okay,
go
okay.
and follow that link and you look at the very top, it's probably somewhere throughout his stream. But
Yeah, I'm trying to
given
find
how
I've tried to find the actual thing in the stream, but I'll put that
Yeah,
up there
yeah.
so people can see
given
that.
how prepared I am.
It's
you
funny
know.
because he the style that he did that in is similar to the actual like the DK Lego books, where they'll do a little, they'll show you all the stuff that is going on. They have it like photographed a certain way, and they have like the text in the same font. And I just thought it was really cool how I decided to emulate that style. There's some other stuff he has down here that's super cool.
He has so many cool stuff. Like it's really hard to just determine like one thing to feature this guy in, because like if you look away from his Dragonland stuff, like all the stuff that he makes has like a really cool quality to them.
Yeah, there's
Ah.
actually he made these 2 dragon busts that I really want to link because they are so.
Yeah,
well
link it,
done.
link it.
Just
All
go
right,
for it.
I'll-
We're doing a.
I'll- linking his
Yeah.
tutorials at the moment, but
Okay, I'll spend some time on them in a second. But yeah,
If you
actually,
want
this
to
is
make dragons, this is the guy, folks. This is the
Wow.
guy you go to.
This is I'm so happy that he decided to put this like in writing down somewhere. This is going to be invaluable, actually.
Yeah,
as
because
someone
like
who
I wanna
he
make
showed
doesn't
you all
mock
these-
at all. Now I'm looking at this and I'm like, I know what I want to build right now. And he also cleverly uses construction. I mean, obviously he has a
all
bionicle
these
background.
pixel
But
and different joints. Like these
man.
are all these pieces are like pieces that most people have just buying general sets. So you can just sit
No.
down and like look through your collection. You can probably like make some of these dragons by just looking at these tutorials.
Okay.
Really
This
cool.
is easily one of the best dragon like heads I've ever seen
Oh, okay.
anyone make out of Lego.
Oh man.
Like that is gorgeous. That just looks amazing.
Yeah,
from
I know
every angle.
someone who's like
yeah. Oh my
in
god.
dragons that would like to see these, you know.
Oh,
Listen,
that's
I
so
tried to make
cool.
sure she was on today, and she said she would be, and then I guess she's busy now. So, sorry about that. I'm
That
sorry,
is
actually.
okay. We're having a great time.
We don't. I
This
mean,
is
listen.
great.
Who really needs someone who's that?
Oh,
into
that's
dragons?
cool. So it's like you got the bust and
And
the
then the
full
little-
model.
Yeah, a little model.
That's really nice.
Yeah. He did
Is there
fire
a
one
story
as
to this?
well.
Is there like some sort of like
Lore?
intrepid lore to it? Oh man,
I don't
that's
know.
super awesome.
I haven't looked in. I think he has like taglines on the individual photos where he has like the quote unquote sets. Like I'll try to see.
Okay, there's another dragon he made here. There's Red Dragon, which it doesn't have a bust, but it's really
No,
awesome.
it does. It
oh,
does have a bust.
never
I just
mind.
linked it.
It does have a bust. But like, this photo, I'm telling you, this is an amazing.
Oh, okay. See, look at this. Look at the description of this one, John.
Okay, all right, let me see it.
You can see the amount of dedication he has to his craft by just going like looking over the size of the description
Woo!
that he
This,
has.
this
you know,
legit looks like he's doing everything he can to make it feel as legit, like kind of set accurate as possible. This looks like something you see at from the Lego shop at home site. You know, any of the descriptions where it's like includes all these minifigures, all these awesome things.
I
has
wonder if
he has the
actually-
measurements. Man,
Yeah, he has pieces in the quote unquote set as well, and I'm wondering
That's
if he actually
dedication,
counted
man. Wow.
the pieces.
That is some real dedication. Look at that.
that's awesome.
Good stuff.
He
Well,
has
good
like
stuff.
I'm looking through the rest of his photo stream. He has so much other cool things that he's made. Even just like when it comes to these minifigures that are fantasy themed. Like all of these guys, they have each like an individual personality, all that stuff to them. Then I went down. He has a space theme that he did as well, called Body Battlers.
Oh, these minifigures do look cool. Oh, body battlers.
Body Battlers, man, and like there's like all this cool space stuff that he's created.
Oh, they're like
There's a little hover car.
viruses.
Yeah, it's like Vision of the Body Snatchers, you know, or like it has a cool like retro theme to it. There's like actually the big set for the wave is a diner, that's been like overrun by aliens. They have aliens coming to them. It's just so cool that like it's a really cool aesthetic that he's really taking and bringing to the forefront here.
Yeah, and he's really good at like making like cool minifigure combos as well. That just
Mm-hmm.
he's just really good at his craft. This guy is
really
he
good.
knows- He's a good builder. You know, you want to have someone to look up to, then here's the guy.
This guy,
Yeah.
he's pretty tall.
He is.
You can literally just look up to him.
tall.
All right.
I'm gonna link one last thing. This is Class 8 frigate that he made, with a bunch of like things pointing to
Ooh.
everything that goes into it.
That's pretty spicy, Mock.
This mock is really cool.
I thought it was
That's
a giant
really
gun at
cool.
first.
It's a frigate gun.
It's a giant. It hyperspaces through things. That's how it.
That is a very, very spicy mock.
It has
Reminds me of
lots of
like a colored
Yeah.
version of Firefly, like not Firefly, the Serenity from Firefly. It's a Firefly class ship, guys. Okay, I swear I'm a nerd. I know what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
sure, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever,
All
man. Okay.
All right.
No one
Kind of
cares.
done with you.
All right.
Firefly agenda.
He also made a really cool condor mock.
He did.
He built using
thing.
bricks, guys. There's photos. There's proof.
Oh, all right. I said I was gonna be done, but I can't be done because look at this Minotaur.
No,
This Minotaur though.
no, come on,
Look
man.
at it. Look. All right.
We're
Oh,
gonna
he's
be
so
here
cute.
all day looking at all this
It's adorable,
amazing
man.
stuff.
He
Look
has
at
It's
this.
really cool.
he has like a it's not a diaper, it's like a cloth
Loincloth?
thing. Yeah.
Well,
Me-
just from the back, the way it's shaped from like looking at the back of this figure is just so cool. Just okay. I'm sorry. All right, we are gonna.
But yeah, that was Aaron Newman
Pull it in.
/ Nuju Metru. You can check him out on Flickr
Yeah.
and then spend the last like part of your day just looking through.
I know
different
I'm gonna
mobs.
be looking at it after
I am
this.
as well. This guy is pretty great. It's also really cool to see another BIONICLE fan like make that transition to system. Maybe he was always in the system, but like I don't know, just kind of cool to see like really cool stuff done in system by someone that we knew about. One of the old pals. All right. Okay, we are gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the BrickFeed Podcast. As always, you can go to our message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. You can help support the show by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel. And as always, subscribe to this channel for more updates on our live shows, the podcasts when they come out, all sorts of cool new reviews. We just came out with a Ultimate Hulkbuster review, so please go check that out. We will see you guys next week. I'm John.
I'm Gar.
I'm Ven.
I'm Exxtra.
And this was the BrickFeed Podcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.